Welcome to Audit Archive, where we run you through some of the most questionable and rather atrocious police encounters. Today, we're looking at a case where police officers deliberately harassed an innocent driver, unlawfully detained him, and severely violated his constitutional rights. On August 5th, 2023, a trooper with the Indiana State Police happened to be driving behind a vehicle in his police cruiser when he decided to run the plates through the system, something officers are allowed to do on a regular basis. Anyway, the result of that check revealed that one of the owners of the vehicle, namely Ian Green, had a suspended license. Subsequently, the trooper pursued the vehicle and soon pulled the driver over. The interaction is covered on the police cruiser's dash cam, as well as the officer's body cams. Pay close attention as we can immediately observe the assertive approach of the officer.
4528, you were broken.
Can you start me another unit?
4529.
Come on, man. Move up! Move up! Go to the parking lot!
Lewisburg 15 is also starting that way from State Road 60 and I-65.
4515.
Search. 2024, anything to go on?
Down. Okay. Are you the owner?
Yes.
Okay. You know you're suspended?
What?
You're suspended.
Oh,
Your
yeah?
driver's license is suspended.
Oh, I was not aware.
Okay. Do you have your ID on you?
Yes.
Do you have your registration?
I believe this is it. Should be the most current one. I was not aware.
So far, there are a few noteworthy observations. Firstly, the officer approaches the vehicle from the passenger side, a common practice among police officers when they suspect the occupant may be aggressive or when they want a better view of the vehicle's contents. It's essential to understand that this is also the reason why the driver is directed to pull into a parking lot instead of stopping on the side of the road, to prevent any potential attempts to flee. This approach appears to be quite confrontational, especially considering that the driver promptly and calmly complied with all the officer's instructions. Another crucial point to highlight is Mr. Green's response when questioned about his suspended license. He claimed to be unaware of it. If this is actually true, we can assume there to be an error made by the DMV, as well as incompetence because the state's DMV or Department of Transportation typically sends suspension notices through the mail. However, we can't come to such a conclusion just yet, as people often lie about this. So let's continue watching to see what happened next, because it gets bad.
Alright, you know why you're suspended?
No.
Okay. Is there anything illegal in the car?
No.
There's not? Okay. What'd you look back there for?
I don't know where to put my eye.
Okay. Alright, stay seated for me. Hey, and it said that you didn't have insurance and you were involved in a crash.
I was, but I did have insurance.
It's saying-
I contacted my insurance company to file the proper thing. It should be active.
It's saying that you were involved in a crash and you did not have insurance.
thought I had taken care of that, but I believe that's the current up-to-date one. I do believe it's a misunderstanding. I do remember the crash.
Okay.
I did have active insurance at the time. For whatever reason, it didn't.
Okay.
My insurance company didn't file some paperwork.
Okay, let me go see if the effective dates match up, okay?
Good.
So you were involved in the crash on March 23rd, 2022. The effective date on this insurance is September 3rd, 2022.
Must have. Yeah, I think. I know I had it at the time. I've logged into the thing. I don't know.
Is there any way you can look up prior insurance policy effective dates?
Possibly. View billing and payment.
Do what?
I don't know. Billing activity. Sorry, my hands are shaking.
If I click on it,
You're fine too. I don't know if it'll do anything. Yeah. Should be payments all throughout that time period.
so you're gonna have to call the B&B.
Okay.
Because based on this, I mean, I don't really know if you did or didn't. I just got to go based off what the B&B, your driving status is, okay?
Okay.
The 2022 Indiana Code Section 9-24-19-3 states, an individual who operates a motor vehicle upon a highway when the individual knows that the individual's driving privileges, driver's license, or permit is suspended or revoked, commits a Class A misdemeanor. Also, Section 9-24-19-1 says that anyone who operates a vehicle on a public road or highway knowing that they've lost their driving privileges or have a suspended or revoked license commits a Class A infraction. The penalty in Indiana for a Class A infraction is a fine of up to $10,000. Nevertheless, it's evident that Mr. Green has presented sufficient evidence to the officer, making it clear to him that there is insurance coverage in place, and the issue primarily arises from a clerical error at the DMV. Based on this information, one might reasonably assume that the officer could choose to release him with a warning, as his explanation appears to be valid. Unfortunately, this assumption does not align with what happens next, leading to the officer violating Mr. Green's constitutional rights in a rather ignorant manner.
Is there anything illegal in your vehicle right now?
No.
Be careful, I search it real quick.
I do mine. But
Why
I do
is
not
that?
have any. I see it as an invasion of privacy.
Okay. Let's step on out.
Okay.
You have any weapons on you?
No.
So 4528 can start 281. You care if I pat you down real quick? Don't put your hands in your pocket. You care if I pat you down?
Sure.
Can you put your hands against the door?
Okay.
Slide back there to my car.
I did that this morning.
Don't have that problem.
What do you have?
Do what?
What do you have?
He's lying to me about.
I thought he was signal 40 or something.
No. I ran his plate. He was acting funny, and then I stopped him and I says, "Is there anything illegal in the car?" And he goes, "No." So I asked him for consent. He refused. So I'm going to do an inventory of the vehicle and just tow it.
I ripped my pants same way. Well, last time. Well,
I wish they gave us more stretchy material.
Something about insurance being filed after
Clear?
take care of it. Got it.
Hey Ian, can you call for a ride?
Huh?
Can you call for a ride? Can you call for a ride? Why not?
I don't have anyone I can trust. Where's that person?
Okay, well then you're just gonna have
grocery
to.
store and then home. Where's home? Not far. It'd be, you know where? What grocery store? Kroger. I'll get you there.
Yeah. I'd prefer to stay with my car if that's okay.
Your car's gonna get towed.
Why?
That's why he's asking if you can get someone to get you a ride. That's the reason he's asking. I believe it's because you were driving it while suspended. He might have something else going on, but that's the reason I'm trying to talk to you about it. So my name's Stripper Wolf. I'm with Indiana State Police. 9821 will be my number if you need anything for that. But that's the reason I was just trying to talk to you, because I don't know what's going on until you told me that. So if it's something with your insurance, I would definitely talk to the BMV. You're going to be able to talk to Clark County and go, hey, they were supposed to work this. Here's my documents that say this. That's the sort of thing you'll be doing in this. Is there anything else going on? Was that I can't think of the word. Is there something in the car or marijuana, anything like that? No. Okay.
Now we observe that the initial officer decides to escalate the situation by conducting a frisk of the driver before proceeding with an inventory of the vehicle. However, a critical issue arises when, through the audio from the second officer, it becomes clear that the first officer is conducting this inventory because the driver refused consent for a search. This refusal is well within the driver's constitutional rights under the Fourth Amendment, which states, "The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue, but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized." These constitutional safeguards exist to ensure that individuals are shielded from unwarranted and intrusive actions by law enforcement. They demand that searches and seizures be grounded in probable cause and subject to judicial oversight through the issuance of a warrant. Judging by this, it's clear that Mr. Green's rights were violated. Also, note that an inventory search is a warrantless search of a lawfully impounded vehicle conducted by police. The purpose of an inventory search is for the police to determine the contents of a vehicle in order to fulfill a variety of administrative functions. But bear in mind that the police have no legitimate grounds for impounding this vehicle, as there are no missing documents associated with it, nor is it linked to any criminal activity. Since Mr. Green has not requested its towing, it seems the officers have taken advantage of his limited knowledge regarding the law in this specific situation, using this situation as an opportunity to carry out what they claim is a legal inventory of the car. Furthermore, upon reviewing the officer's footage, it becomes evident that their actions resemble a search rather than a genuine inventorying process.
That's the reason I'm just trying to talk to you. Is there anything else going on? Is that
There is a lot of trash here.
My car was on control.
So he's towing the car right now.
There's nothing I'm missing.
I'll need my key. Want a search control, I will need my key. Hold on, I'm gonna get
You said it's finished.
It's on. Kind of needed to work it in a particular way.
It is legal. It is normal, depends on who's doing it, and it depends on the situation that's going on. I don't know what happened before I got here.
Is there a trick to it?
Yeah, a little bit. I can do it. I have no problem doing it. Set this lock. There we go.
Which is the only reason I asked.
Some keys real quick. Your house keys. If you want to go ahead and take them off, you can.
Do you know where they're at?
They're on the front seat.
Okay, as soon as he comes back, I'll come grab them for you and we'll get you out of here, okay? Because I know those are, oh, he's right over here. So give me just a second. They're in the passenger seat or your seat?
Passenger seat.
No worries.
I just sold them haphazardly because I didn't expect to be towed.
Gotcha. Do you know why you were suspended the first time?
Really? I had insurance all throughout the thing, so I didn't.
Well, that's not the only reason that could have happened. Were you in any sort of crash or accident, or maybe you've been pulled over in the past and maybe missed the citation, something like that?
No.
That's really weird that it would be just suspended out of nowhere.
Yes. Well, they sent me a thing saying it was suspended, and then I reached out to my insurance because they apparently didn't file something. I reached out to them, they said they would take care of it, and I guess they did.
Now, what we can discern from this situation is that even the third officer appears to recognize the unusual nature of this license suspension, suggesting his agreement that it should not be handled with the maximum severity allowed by law. The officers are proceeding to get Mr. Green's vehicle towed, and he will be cited for his first infraction, potentially leading to an extension of his suspension for up to an additional 90 days. This situation appears highly questionable, as the underlying reason seems to be the officer's wounded pride due to Mr. Green exercising his constitutional rights, leading to official misconduct. According to Indiana Code Section 35-44-1-1-1, it is stated, for instance, if an officer conducts an unlawful search and seizure or makes a false arrest, the officer has committed official misconduct, a level 6 felony. This situation raises significant concerns about the delicate balance of power between law enforcement and civil liberties, highlighting the crucial need for checks and measures within the system. when officers potentially leverage their position to retaliate against law-abiding citizens like Mr. Green, particularly for invoking their legal rights, it undermines public trust and corrodes the foundational principles of justice.
This right here is the court date. You have to go back date and that time to get the citation. Unless you want to show up to the court date and get this date and this time today. I'm giving you about 2 months to pay for it, so that's more than enough time. Like I said, if you have any questions at all, you can contact the courts, okay? If you think you had insurance from that crash, you call me and get that straightened out. Okay? If you do get that straightened out, you get the wrong citation. Cool. Okay?
Especially not being the truth here. But hey, we'll go ahead and get in the air conditioning. I'll get your address and I'll get you to where you need to get to, okay? Let me move this computer real quick for you, because you're a big guy, so it's going to be a little tight in here.
Brilliant.
Okay, thanks for that.
Ultimately, Mr. Green was given a ride by the third officer, not to his home, but rather to a nearby grocery store, which was his intended destination before being stopped. Subsequently, it was discovered that the insurance company had indeed submitted all the required paperwork, but the DMV repeatedly rejected it. Upon further investigation, the DMV admitted to having a faulty fax machine that was responsible for cutting off signatures on printed documents, resulting in the continual rejection of paperwork. This situation places the blame squarely on the DMV, as Mr. Green incurred various expenses, including fines for the infraction and fees for retrieving his vehicle from the tow lot. It's worth noting that the DMV in Indiana lacks the capability to expunge a false record from an individual's history, which means that this incident will remain on Mr. Green's permanent record for approximately the next 10 years, after which records are typically reset. The family intends to file a complaint against the investigating officer for official misconduct, but there is no further update on the matter as of the date of this recording. Be sure to check out our previous video where we cover another outrageous police encounter.